But you're going online. Okay,
Okay.
we're live from Milan. Hello, everybody. This is
Hello.
Anika, and I have with me Emily today.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emily. I am also in Milan, and we are colleagues at the same school. And I'm originally from the UK, from the middle of England.
Yeah, and I'm originally from Bangladesh, and I've been living in Italy for 5 years. And I used to live in Malaysia before I came to Italy. So if you're just, I can see someone has already joined us. So if you're there, please let us know about yourself. So we
hmm
have some questions for you. Um, where are you from?
hmm Yeah. Tell us what you are doing today as well, maybe.
Yeah,
Everyone is looking for ways to keep busy in this period.
yes. What are you doing today? So what have you been doing today, Emily? Or
Ah,
these days in general?
These days, in general, a lot of films, a lot of books. Um, I am quite surprised I am not too bored at the moment. I tend to find ways to keep busy. What about you?
Yeah, that's nice. Me too. I've been spending a lot of time doing some hobbies
Hmm.
that I never had the time for
Oh, good.
before this. So, yes, I've been doing a little bit of reading and I've been watching some movies as well. Yeah.
Mm.
And I've been spending time learning Italian. I'm trying to improve
Oh,
and
well
I'm
done.
trying to read some books.
hmm
So, right now I'm reading an Italian book.
Oh,
It's
what is
actually
it?
meant for, it's called, yeah, that's the name. So in English, it translates to the Blue Arrow,
Ah,
La Freccia Azzurra.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's fun. It's a fun book. So I
Okay. Yeah.
hope the students are also trying to read some books in English or probably watching movies in English.
Yeah. I think, if you have Netflix, there are lots of good English language movies or
Mm,
Italian movies where you could use English subtitles. Or I know we
mm,
have students from France and Spain as well, so you can watch things in your own languages with English subtitles if that's preferable. But I do recommend trying to watch things in English as well. Yeah, but let us know what you do. Okay,
yeah,
but
I think it's. Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, I
okay.
think it's a great idea. I mean, I personally don't have Netflix, but I know
hmm
a lot of students who watch English films and really find it beneficial.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah, or even if you don't have Netflix, if you just watch anything generally
yeah,
as
in
well.
general, that's true.
Mhm. So
Okay,
I think
so
we
I
are
think
talking about fears today. So um,
so.
yeah, I
Here is the plan for today.
mhm.
So we are going to talk about saying what you are afraid of, about new vocabulary on fears, telling stories in the past, and when and while. A little bit of grammar over there. When and
Yeah.
while.
So
Okay.
maybe to start, we could just talk about the word fear for a moment. Because
Hmm.
our listeners may not be aware of the word. Um,
Hmm.
so, fear is just the feeling of being afraid. It's the noun of being afraid, being scared, and you can use it in an uncountable way. So, the idea of fear, the feeling, but you can also
Hmm.
say fear to describe a type, to describe what you are scared of.
True. Also, I'd like to point out that it can also be a noun. Sorry, it can also be a verb to
Hmm.
fear something. I fear. Um, Although it could sound a little more formal, wouldn't it,
Hmm.
Emily? Like
I agree with you. Yeah.
I fear going to, I fear having some trouble with something.
Hmm.
Yeah. So as a noun is uncountable, as Emily said.
Hmm.
So, mm, okay.
Yeah. Are you
So
scared of a
perhaps we
lot of
could move.
things, Anika?
Well, I have a lot of fears, to be honest.
Hmm.
I'm a little bit fearful of
Hmm.
some things, little things and big things, but they're not a big deal. I try to overcome them, try to do things to overcome them.
Hmm.
What about you, Emily? Are you normally, do you have a lot of fears?
I I think I would say that I am anxious rather than
Hmm.
fearful. I have
Hmm.
a little bit of nervousness at
Hmm.
most of the time, but I
Hmm.
am not in a constant state of fear most of the time.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, that will
um,
be a big deal. I mean, these days I'm trying not to read the news that much,
hmm, yeah, I don't blame you.
just to
I
avoid
think
being fearful.
I've also seen some advice for people who are very anxious or very scared at the moment
Hmm.
to have a certain amount of time every day to
Hmm.
allow yourself to be scared. Maybe you give
Oh.
yourself half an
Hmm.
hour to think about what you are scared of and
Hmm.
then forget about it for the rest of the day. Which,
Wow, I have to try that out.
yeah, so I like the
Yeah,
idea. I'm not
me
sure it would
too.
work for me, but I like it.
Yeah, okay. So we can move forward to the next
Hmm.
slide. So here's a question. What are you afraid of? What are different ways to say I'm afraid of?
Yeah.
So let's talk about different ways.
Hmm. Yeah, and any viewers can also tell us what you think, some different ways to say I'm afraid of. So
Yeah.
we have used some of these already. So we said I fear, you can use,
Hmm.
maybe it's slightly more formal.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
also I'm scared of, we already talked about. I'm scared of.
Hmm. So what are different ways to say I'm afraid?
Yeah. So we have I'm
So if you're
scared.
watching, hmm.
Ah, hi
Hi
Marcelo.
Marcelo.
Ah, welcome.
Welcome. Yeah. So we were talking about different ways to say I'm afraid. So I'm afraid, or I fear, or I'm scared are some ways that we talked about. Can you
Hmm.
think of other ways? Maybe there are different ways of saying how afraid you are, isn't it, Emily? Like when you're really,
Yeah,
really afraid and when you're not that
absolutely.
much
Yeah.
afraid.
I think I said before that you can use I'm anxious to say
Hmm.
I'm a little bit scared.
Yeah.
I'm anxious.
Hmm.
And just remember my pronunciation there. So it's like an ang sound. It's like a G sound, anxious. Um,
Yeah.
or I'm nervous is very similar.
Oh, sorry.
No, I think we don't have a system yet for
Yeah.
that. Mm.
Okay. So we can just show the answers here.
Hmm.
So can I ask you, Emily, to read the list over here
Of course. So we have I'm scared
so
of.
listeners can hear the right pronunciation?
Hmm. I'm scared of. I'm frightened of. I'm terrified of. I'm scared to death of. And I get goosebumps when. So I think goosebumps we should explain. So goosebumps are what happens to your skin when you are scared. When you can see some bumps on your arms, on your legs when you are scared or when you're cold as well.
Okay, I'm going to write that down. So something, what happens to your skin when you're scared or cold? Yeah. I remember reading a series of books when I was younger
Yeah,
called The Goosebumps, some
I
horror
was
stories.
thinking the same thing, you know.
Really?
Yeah,
I
you
used to
can
love
tell we
those.
are both readers.
Yeah. Yeah. Gone are those good days.
Ah, well,
Yeah. So when you get goosebumps, you are really, really scared, aren't you?
you are, yes. And
Yeah.
it's maybe you're scared of a situation, normally.
Hmm. Yeah. So for me, for example, I get goosebumps when I see anything crawling, like insects or something. It gives me
Yes.
goosebumps. Yeah.
Mhm.
So is it the
Yes.
same for you, Emily? Do you get
For
goosebumps when
me
you see insects?
also. I think goosebumps doesn't they don't always stop you from doing something. They're maybe not so terrifying
Mm-hmm.
as other phrases in the list. So scared to death of. If you are scared to death of something, you probably
Mm-hmm.
don't do it. You probably avoid it. Goosebumps is like your body's warning to be careful.
That's
Yeah,
true.
so if there's
Yeah.
an insect, then it's maybe
Mm-hmm.
telling you, if you are scared of it, it's telling you be careful, be cautious.
Hmm.
Um, Rightly or wrongly, you may think there is no real reason for that.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but it's an interesting physical reaction there.
Hmm. Yeah. And I'm scared to death of would be just like Emily said. It's a very it can stop you from doing something.
Hmm.
And so Marcelo here says goosebumps when I get goosebumps when I'm mm,
I'm
emo.
emotional.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um.
I think sometimes if there is a uh, very scary film, for example, a horror film, if you are maybe you're excited, maybe you're interested,
Mhm.
but you are also scared, maybe then you can get goosebumps.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, or if you are on a roller coaster, if you are on like a very adrenaline full ride,
Mhm.
sometimes you get goosebumps.
Hmm.
As I said, it's like your body saying, "Be careful."
Mhm.
It's saying you are in a certain situation, but there can be positive emotions alongside the
Hmm.
goosebumps, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So a little bit of correction there of spelling. So emotional is with a Tion.
Hmm.
Okay. That's a good
Hmm.
question.
It
So,
is, yeah.
what are you? Yeah. So, what are you scared to death of, Emily? Is there something that you can think of?
Oh, um, this is embarrassing, but I am scared to death of escalators. Um,
No way.
I am, yes. It
Oh,
makes
I
life
remember you saying that to
difficult
me once.
sometimes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot use them. I am too scared of them. Um, I get paralyzed. I can't move when I try to get on an escalator.
Hmm.
And I don't know what it is. I think it's partly a fear of falling or something like that that is
Hmm.
connected with it, or the
Hmm.
fear of mechanical things.
Hmm.
But I don't know. It's very interesting to me. Um, but yeah, it's
Hmm.
that's what I'm scared to death of.
Yeah,
What
it's
are you
interesting.
scared to death of?
Yeah, so before I give you an answer, I just wanted to write the word escalator.
Hmm.
So some people may not know it. So it's like moving staircase. No,
Yes,
not a moving. Would you say moving staircase? It reminds me of Harry Potter if I say
it
moving
does.
staircase.
Yes, I think that's a good description. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving.
Normally, people. I think it's a less common fear than
Mm.
lifts or elevators. A lot of people are
Yeah.
scared of elevators.
Yes.
maybe because it's such a small space.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I am okay with those, but I
Hmm.
cannot do escalators.
Yeah. And I am scared to death of heights. Um,
Hmm.
I actually discovered that when I was up in the mountains one time.
Oh
So
no.
it was a scary discovery. I didn't know that myself. But I'm scared
Oh.
to death of heights. When I'm like really at the top of something, like a tall building, I
Hmm.
feel very, very scared.
Right.
Yeah.
Marcelo or anyone else watching, please let us know what you are scared to death of. Um, I just want to mention with all of
Mhm.
these first four phrases, the preposition is always of. You're scared of. I know
Hmm.
some people use about in examples, and that is not correct. It's always scared of.
That's a good point there. Okay. So
Okay.
while we answers, we can perhaps move on.
Yeah, I just maybe want to mention one more word. You can also say,
Yeah, please tell me.
I'm wary of, which is quite a nice phrase because
Hmm.
I'm wary of is saying, I do something, but I am extra careful. I am
Hmm.
always alert. I am always looking for changes in the situation. So for me,
Hmm.
I'm wary of dogs because I am not really scared of them, but I am very aware of where they are. I am aware of their behavior.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
hi, Fiorella,
Oh,
welcome.
hi. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I think I've heard of many people being wary of dogs as well.
Mhm,
So sometimes from experience, it starts from an experience, like a bad experience with dogs.
exactly. Yes,
So,
yes, I think that's right.
yeah. Okay. So, hi, Fiorella and Marcelo, if you're there, so tell us about what you are scared of. So, I'm scared to death of highness. Oh, right. So, the correct word would be height. So, which is also
Mhm.
my fear. I'm going to write the correct version here.
Yeah, scared to
I'm
death of
scared.
heights. Yes. Because highness, we don't. That isn't really a word in English, but I do see how you got there from the adjective. Yes,
Yeah.
we have
Unless you're speaking
heights.
to the
Sorry.
queen,
Yes, Your Highness
your
is
highness.
maybe for a prince or a princess, but not in
Yeah.
regular English.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So while we're waiting for more response, we can move on to
Mhm.
um, more specific type of common fears. So here we have some photos, some pictures
Mhm.
that we have to match with some words here on the left.
Yeah. So please
Okay.
give us the answers as what you think the pictures represent, and you can tell us if you
Mhm.
agree with these top 10 fears as well. Maybe they surprise you.
Yeah. Um, and
Oh,
so
we.
here's the list. So I can read, I will read the list for you
Mhm.
guys. So snakes, spiders, heights, ghosts, the dark, thunder and lightning, confined spaces, needles, dogs, and flying.
Mhm.
Okay. So Fiorella has a similar fear as Emily. She says she's scared of big
Mhm.
dogs.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Just remember the am there. Remember the to be. I'm scared, Fiorella.
Hmm. Okay. So
Okay.
just to let you guys know, if you have just joined us, when you write a response on the chat box, we get it. There's a little bit of delay. We get it after some like 5 to 10 seconds after you write them.
Mm-hmm.
So, mm, so tell us what you think you can see in A
Mm-hmm.
matches with it. So it's something that
Yes.
you get that you see at the doctors if someone is ill,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yes.
or you can
So,
also see. Hmm,
in this example, we are looking for the object. Um, you can also be scared of the process of what happens. Um,
mhm.
and maybe the word for the process is injections. You can be scared of injections,
Yeah.
but we are looking for the what you use to have
Hmm.
an injection. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is the
You
spelling
also
for
use.
anyone.
Hmm. You may also use it for sewing.
Yes,
To think of that, but of
yes.
course, here it means in a medical sense.
Mhm. I think
Okay.
the medical sense is scarier than the sewing context. I hope.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
well, maybe
So
we will give this first answer. This is
yeah,
possibly
I'm good.
harder than some of the later ones. So if you
Hmm.
want to look ahead and give us later answers, you can. Just remember to give us the letter as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we have needles here. So needles
Hmm.
are what you use to have
Hmm.
an injection.
Yeah.
Are you scared
I'm
of
scared to death
needles?
of needles. I really am scared to death of needles, Emily. I mean, I
Right.
can't. I don't remember the last time I had to um, get my blood tested. I didn't get an
Mhm,
injection though, but I can't remember when the last time was. But it was very, very scary for me. What about you, Emily?
mhm.
Are you scared of needles?
A little.
Hmm.
Um, I think I'm scared of the idea of needles, but
Hmm.
generally, if I need an injection, I'm okay.
Okay. Oh, that's you're lucky.
Yes.
Okay. So what about you guys? Tell us if you are scared of needles. How scared are you of needles?
Mhm.
Great. Marcel says B is ghost.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So, are you scared of ghosts?
I am not scared of ghosts. Um, I don't really believe in ghosts. Um, and if they are real, I don't know, there is something quite nice about the idea as well. I don't know.
It's
I
the
don't
same
mind the
here.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same here. I've never really been scared of ghosts.
Hmm.
Maybe when I was very, very, very little.
Mm.
Um, but I kind of think they're spirits that are really
Yeah.
like nice to have around and not really ghosts.
Yeah. No, I don't think I am scared of the supernatural in general,
Hmm.
anything unexplainable. I quite like that there are some things that it's difficult
Hmm.
to find a complete concrete answer for.
Same
I
here.
think that's good for humans to have things that we don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes the
'Cause that's
mystery is nice.
yeah,
Adding a little bit of mystery.
exactly. Yeah. So
So,
that's great,
let's
Miss Bella.
move.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, we have what we have next. So we can see. So I apologize if the pictures are really small. So I'm just gonna
Mhm.
describe the picture for you guys to make it easier. So this guy over here is cleaning a building, like a glass building. He is up top cleaning the glass building. So
Mhm.
probably he's afraid. So what does that make you think of? So we were talking about it just a bit ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So since we were talking about it, maybe we could give them the answer. So it's
Yeah, this one is
heights.
heights.
Yeah. So, are you afraid of heights, Emily?
Um, I am if there is a risk of falling. So
Hmm.
I can be on a balcony and I'm fine, but if I
Hmm.
am on a mountain, I'm probably
Hmm.
scared.
Okay. Thank you,
Ah,
Elaine.
Alan,
Yes. Well
welcome.
done.
I
Yeah.
think,
I think I remember Elaine from Montenero, our schools in Montenero.
okay,
I'm not sure if you're the same person, but I
right. So
believe so.
we have several Milan students from Milan today, and
Hmm.
Alan is on a roll as well. So we have D, spiders, which is
Very
absolutely
good.
correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you scared of spiders, Anika?
Yes, I am scared of spiders. As I said before, I have a lot of fears, and spiders is one of them. In fact,
Yes.
insects in general kind of scare me.
Hmm.
And when I used to live in Malaysia, there were woods all
Oh
around,
no.
so there were a lot of, yeah. So I have a bit
Yeah.
of fear of spiders. What about you, Emily? Are you afraid of spiders?
I am less scared than I was in the past. I am better at removing them now, but I am
Hmm.
still scared of them. Yes.
Okay. So, well done. So Alan says your reason, Anika. So that's great. It's great to see you here in this way. So you are right. Yeah. So you are right. Okay. So thank you for responding, guys. Elaine also says snakes for E, which is absolutely right.
Hmm.
Are you afraid of snakes, Emily?
Um, I I think I am. I haven't seen a real snake in a long time, so maybe
Hmm.
I now I'm an adult, I would be better. Um, but a little, yes.
Yeah,
Are you?
unless you're in the woods or something. Yeah, when
Mm,
I go, go hiking up the mountains or something, sometimes I fear there might be snakes around. But
mm,
probably it's like not a reasonable fear. I mean, probably there
yeah.
are no snakes around when I just imagine there is.
Yeah, I
So,
think I'm more scared
yeah,
of the idea of poisonous snakes, snakes that can
yeah,
really hurt you. But
yeah,
normal snakes are not so bad. They're
yeah.
not poisonous.
Hmm.
So F we also have from Alan. Well done. You are on fire today. So that you're
Yeah.
right is confined spaces or small spaces. You can also say. Um,
Hmm.
I think we also use the word claustrophobia quite often for this fear.
Hmm.
So a phobia is just another word for a fear. So you can say I have claustrophobia or I am claustrophobic, which I will write down for you.
Hmm.
Do you have claustrophobia, Anika?
Well, I don't think I do. I think I'm quite good at staying in confined spaces. I don't
Hmm.
really mind it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm okay. I don't mind being inside an elevator or
Hmm.
some little spaces. What about you, Emily? Are you afraid of confined spaces?
No, not particularly. I don't
Hmm.
think I would want to be in one with a lot of people for a long time, but not
Hmm.
it's not a big fear of mine.
Yeah, yeah. So those of you watching, you can let us know if you are afraid of any of these things that we have talked about so far. So, Elaine keeps going. Well done. Thunder and lightning for G,
Hmm.
which is absolutely right. So, I remember being really afraid of thunder and lightning when I was little, but not
Hmm.
anymore.
Yeah.
Is it the same for you, Emily?
Yes, it is. I don't like being outside really when there's lightning. So I feel
Mm,
quite vulnerable, quite unsafe. But
mm,
the ideas of them, I don't mind.
mm. Yeah.
Maybe I think Alan, you have finished matching everything. Maybe you can tell us also what are you scared of, and
Mm,
how scared are you of things?
yeah.
Um,
In
yeah.
the meantime, we can put up the words.
Hmm.
So dark,
Yeah.
flying, and dogs. So
Hmm.
those
Yeah.
three were really common.
Definitely. Are you scared of the
So
dark?
hmm, I not particularly. I'm not scared of the dark at all. I quite like the dark, to be honest.
Me too.
So I
Yeah.
kind of like it. Yeah. Well, that's unique. A lot of people I know don't really like it. For
Mm,
example, this is the reason why I like winter sometimes because the daytime
mm.
is shorter.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. But
Oh. Hmm.
no, because I feel sad when there isn't enough daylight. Um,
Really?
but
Hmm.
but when it's night, then I quite
Hmm.
enjoy the dark.
Nice.
I have good
Nice.
night vision. I can see quite well in the dark. But
Nice. Okay. So, what about you guys? Let us know
mhm,
about the dark. If you are afraid of the dark or you have ever been afraid of the dark.
mm.
So, let's talk about flying. Are you afraid of flying, Emily?
I'm not. No, I'm okay flying. Again, maybe if I really think about the idea, I could
Hmm.
get a little scared, but in general, I'm fine. What
Me
about
too.
you, Anika?
Me too. Only when there's a lot of turbulence,
Hmm.
I might get a
Yes.
little scared if something really happens. Yes. Otherwise, I
Hmm.
don't really mind flying. I quite
Hmm.
enjoy it, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So we have spoken about dogs. So
Yeah.
yeah, someone here with us told us the same thing that they're afraid of dogs, big dogs, and so on. So I don't particularly fear dogs.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah. Oh, great. There we go. Alan says I am scared of snakes. A little typo there with the K, snakes, because it's
Hmm.
unusual for me meeting this kind of animals. To for me mm, to come across these animals, I would say. Wouldn't you say so, Emily? Like
Probably yes, because
mm,
meat is quite
mm,
equal. It's normally two people who have the same amount of power. Um,
mm,
yeah, but that's a very small comment, I would say. And
yeah.
just remember unusual. I think that's another typo though. So unusual, another U
Mm,
after the N.
mm. Okay,
Okay.
great.
Um, thank you. Do any of these top 10 fears surprise you? Or are there any fears you think should be in this list? This is for
Oh,
Anika
that's a
and
very
for
good question.
anyone else.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I can think of um, two on this list that I'm surprised
Hmm.
about. Um, For me, fear of ghost is.
Hmm.
I'm really surprised that it's on the top 10 fears. I
Hmm.
usually believe that people don't fear ghosts or even believe in them. And fear of dogs is another fear that I think I'm surprised made it to the top 10 list.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, for me too. We have a
Yeah.
comment from Marcelo.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is great. I'm afraid of thunder and lightning if I'm in a storm. Yeah, I think the same as me there. It's
Hmm.
dangerous. Yes, yes. So maybe there is a reason for the
Hmm.
fear if you are in the storm. That's a
Yeah,
really good point. Yeah.
it
I
really is.
think other common fears,
Hmm.
a lot of people are scared of other medical situations. For example, blood. If you see blood, a lot of people are scared of that. Or scared of hospitals, maybe. Lots of people are scared of hospitals. Neither of those are particular fears of mine, but I do know people who have those fears.
Yes.
Death also maybe is another common fear. Fear of
I'm
death, of
surprised it
dying.
wasn't in the list.
Yes, I expected that to be in the list. I think I would say that needles and ghosts are maybe the slightly less common ones from this list, maybe, or snakes. But yeah, I think it's an interesting list.
Yeah. Okay, so another fear that I can think of is the fear of clown. I've met
Yes.
quite a few people who have fear of clowns. So in case you guys don't know, a clown is when someone dresses up to look funny with a red kind of a ball on their nose. That's a clown.
Yes. You can think of the character from It, the Stephen King novel or film, or Joker. Joker is a clown from the recent film.
Yes.
And I would just write the spelling for you if you are not aware of that. We have clown, a clown.
So I wonder if any of you guys watching are afraid of clowns. So Alan here says, when I was young a long time ago, I was afraid of needles. So it sounds like you have overcome the fear of needles, which is really good.
That's good, yes.
Okay.
I think on clowns, I also, when I was young, I was scared of clowns, but not now.
So here there are more interesting questions. Which ones are you most terrified of? Which ones are you least frightened of? So you guys, if you're watching, tell us what you're most and least afraid of.
Yeah. And just if anyone is unsure, least is the opposite of most. So things that do not frighten you at all. I think for me, I am most, from this list, I am most terrified of spiders, probably, from this list. And I am least frightened of ghosts in my case. What about you, Anika?
For me, I think it's kind of similar, but then what I'm most afraid of would be heights. Yeah. And what I'm least afraid of is ghosts.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We are very rational people, I think.
Yeah. So while we're waiting for the answers, maybe we can move forward a little bit. So it's probably not convenient to show a video, so we can skip this slide and move ahead to some adjectives.
Yeah.
Here. So we have some adjectives related to fear in some ways, and we have the opposites. Okay, so can you match their opposites?
Yeah.
So again, please feel free to participate and write down the adjective and their opposites.
Yeah, so maybe first I will read the pronunciation of these words. So we have, reading from the left, we have fearful, reckless, confident, strong, bold, brave, weak, fearless, careful, afraid, cowardly, and shy.
Great. Okay, so here we have some comments. Alan says, I'm not afraid of ghosts because he doesn't exist. So a little bit of correction there. They don't exist. They, because in general, you're talking about plural, and don't exist.
Hmm.
So fearful, fearless. Well done,
That's
Alan.
great. Just remember, Alan, that we only have one L for adjectives with full, fearful. Just one L.
Yeah, great. So, so absolutely, reckless is careful. Well done again, Alan.
Hmm. Yes, I like the word reckless. I think
Yeah.
this is the only time we hear wreck. There is no verb
Hmm.
wreck like this. There is no wreckful. The only word is reckless, and it means the same as careless. You do things without thinking
Hmm.
about the consequences,
That's very
and
interesting,
it's
Emily. I haven't
normally
thought
quite
about that.
it's normally quite negative, reckless.
Hmm.
Maybe you
Yeah.
spend a
Yeah.
lot of money when you don't know when you will next be paid, for example.
Hmm. That's definitely a reckless behavior,
Hmm.
or probably a driver who's not really careful
Hmm.
um, with the speed limit or anything. So that's a reckless driver.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Emanuela. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you
And
for joining us. It says
and you
confident,
jump
shy.
in. You jump in with a correct answer. Perfect.
Yeah. Confident, shy.
Hmm.
Okay. So confident is when you're sure of yourself. You're kind of open and not afraid of something.
Hmm.
And shy is when you are afraid or kind of insecure.
Yes.
You're
You're
shy.
an
So that's the
introvert,
opposite.
maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So strong. It's not really. So Alan said it's afraid, but not really the correct answer. I would take it from Emanuela's. Again,
So strong is more physical normally. It's about how good you are at holding things, either physically or emotionally as well. Exactly, yes, as Anika just did there. So we are looking for something that means you have no strength. You find things difficult. Yes, as we have here, strong and weak. So weak is the opposite of strong there.
yeah, great. Um, So weak might have been a word that a lot of students weren't aware of.
Hmm.
So weak.
Yes.
Now let's try
Um,
bold.
mhm. Yeah, so bold. Um, I would say bold is very similar to confident.
Hmm.
It means you are not, but it's maybe more about how scared you are. So bold is like you are very
Hmm.
confident, you are not scared of anything
Hmm.
in some
Yeah.
ways.
Hmm. So what do you guys think is the opposite? Opposite.
So I think the final two pairs are have some similarities, but they have some
Yeah.
interesting differences as well. Yes,
Hmm.
Emanuela, bold and
Maybe
afraid.
we can. Hmm. So I'm just gonna give the answer. Bold would be afraid, and
Hmm.
of course, brave, cowardly.
Yes. So the final
Yeah.
pair, again, it is about
Hmm.
fear, but it's not so much about how much fear you have, it's about what you do with it. So brave, you
Hmm.
are courageous, maybe you are scared, but you act anyway. You do
Yeah.
continue to do things. But
Hmm.
cowardly, you are scared and it stops you from living your life. We talk about the cowardly lion in The Wizard of Oz, if anyone knows that film.
Yeah,
The lion who doesn't want to do anything, who finds life very difficult.
that's right. And if for Italian speakers, sometimes I've noticed that brave can be a false friend,
Mm-hmm.
um, because it sounds similar to the word good, like if you're good at something. But brave really means something like courageous
Mm-hmm.
and not good. Okay, and so if you have any questions, please post it down below and we are going to try our best to
Yeah,
answer them.
maybe another comment to make about the word bold is that it can be about writing as well. It can be a writing style. So, for example,
Mm-hmm.
you see the question, it is written in a bold way. It is written in bold, which means it has a
Hmm.
thicker line.
Hmm.
So it's more visible.
Hmm.
So you can
Yeah.
imagine that this is similar to the characteristic where you
Hmm.
allow yourself to be more visible, more confident.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good explanation. Emanuela says, I think title film Bold. This was Dog. Have you seen the film, Emily? Bold? I can't say
I
I have.
don't know the film Bold.
Hmm.
No, I know there is also the film Brave, of course, which was a Pixar film from a few years ago as well.
Hmm. Okay, so sorry, we don't know the film, Emanuela, but if you can give us some more details, feel free to do
Mm,
so.
yes.
Okay. So since we are running out of time, we can move forward a little bit. So
Hmm.
here's a question for you guys to think about. What are the most important qualities a person needs to overcome their fears? What's the best
Mm,
way to get over a fear?
yeah,
Hmm.
I think
So
there
the
is a
word
useful
overcoming.
phrase for this, but Anika can finish first if you like.
So I was just mentioning the word overcome may not be familiar with some people. So to
Hmm.
overcome fear or to overcome something is to go past it when you
Hmm.
kind of solve the problem of it. If you overcome the fear of spiders, that means you're not scared of spiders anymore.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes. So I think Alan said he has overcome his fear of needles, for example. Um,
Oh, yes.
yeah. So to get over is a synonym. It's another way to say this, to get over something. Um, and for both of these, you can use them in other contexts. It's generally to get over, to move past a situation or an emotion. Um, with fear specifically, there is a useful phrase. You can talk about facing fears or face your fears, which is just saying you look at it, you actually see what you are afraid of and think about what to do in the future. You face your fears. So if there is a spider in your house, if you face your fear,
Mm.
you remove it. You remove it yourself. Um, but if you don't face your fear, maybe you scream and let somebody else resolve it for you.
Hmm. Yeah. Great, great. So,
Do
so,
you
hmm. Sorry, Emily, go ahead.
do you find it easy to face your fears?
I find it very difficult, but I think I should try to face my fears in
Mm.
order to overcome it. I think
Yeah.
that's the only way. Yeah, so maybe since I am really afraid of heights, I need to go up in the mountains a bit more so I get
Yes.
used to it. If I get into the habit of it, I won't be afraid anymore.
Hmm.
Oh, Ellen says you must be confident to overcome your own fear, so it's good to improve. Yep, you need the confidence. Like you have to believe
Absolutely.
in yourself.
Yeah, and it comes back to this idea of being brave.
Yeah.
Maybe you have the fear, but you
Hmm.
decide how you can use it to help you.
Hmm. Okay. So we're actually running out of time. So do you think we should wrap up, Emily?
I think so, yes. But if you do have any other comments or questions, you can continue to write to us, or you
Yeah.
can also ask us in a future webinar. Also, we can always answer any questions.
Yes. And thank you for your participation. It always makes our webinars more
Yes,
enjoyable and fun.
thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh, Emanuela says, I think for overcoming fears,
Hmm.
we need adrenaline and courage. So
Hmm.
courage
Yeah,
is
courage.
uncountable.
Hmm.
So adrenaline with an E at the end and courage.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, courage, a nice synonym for bravery.
Yeah.
Yeah, a nice comment there. Definitely,
Yeah.
adrenaline does help, I think. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we will sign off for today. Have a
Mhm.
lovely afternoon, everybody, and we'll
Bye.
see you soon. Bye.
See you guys soon. Bye.